Good evening, everyone. B1, welcome to Black Logic. My apologies for being absolutely late. I'm usually not late, but nonetheless, we're going to get rocking and rolling here because I think it's imperative that this conversation occurs because now that we understand who the commander-in-chief is, we have to ensure, especially him controlling the Senate and the results of whether the Republicans will control Congress will soon come out later. But nonetheless, we have to stay focused on the things that Donald Trump stated that he was going to do. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter once the president have already been selected and then will be elected and then sworn into office, because we have to work with either one of the two. Either we like neither candidate or we like one candidate over the other. It really doesn't matter. So now that the president has been chosen, now we have to follow up to ensure that they do the things that they say that they was going to do. So right now, the Republicans are in charge of the Senate. When he gets elected, they'll be in charge of the Senate. And soon after, we will be finding out if they will control Congress as well. But these things are imperative, and I believe that we still need to stay very focused on what's right for Black America and the things that we essentially need. So before we get into some good commentary here, I'm going to remind you, and for people who may not have seen this, of some of the things that Donald Trump was talking about, okay?
And other lethal drugs are pouring across our wide open border, stealing hundreds of thousands of beautiful American lives. And it's happening like never before in our history. Children are being left without parents. Families are being ripped apart. Communities are being decimated. Our neighbors and fellow citizens are having their entire worlds destroyed. Destroyed like nobody thought possible. Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major, major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate, and just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very, very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country, and drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day,
All right, I think we understand that whole video clip was about Donald Trump promising that he was going to eradicate and eliminate drug cartels. Now, just to be frank, he didn't say how many, he didn't say which ones, but I would like to believe to a point where the American people can feel as though that he has decreased the amount of drugs that have coming over inside the country and are poisoning, everybody. It doesn't matter what race, color, creed, ethnic, whatever. It's affecting everyone. I see I got some faithful followers in here. I appreciate you guys showing up. Iron Will, salute to you as well, brother. Volvo in the room. Everybody shout yourselves out. But as we look at the policy thing here, and I kept telling people this. People kept talking about Project 2025. And I told people the Heritage Foundation are the ones who came up with that manifesto document of a new world order, so to speak. A lot of the new world order stuff too, family, is kind of the thing between like one government over one government. Okay. So I want to just bring you guys abreast upon that as well. So when we talk about Agenda 47, I just want you guys to briefly just view this. I'm not going to read a lot of these out to you, but these are the promises of President Trump. And for each one of these, he created a video. Adding veteran homelessness in America, nowhere for illegal aliens. This is a major one. When it comes to foundational Black Americans, and granted, I know a lot of us are in the middle class, but we do have we have a great population of our people who are in the welfare EPT category. So think about it like this. America has been becoming more in debt because of the thousands of dollars that we've been giving to illegal aliens. And hopefully that doesn't affect the people who are in need, especially, Americans, Foundation of Black Americans, where they're going to cut the budget for this and alien else. Now, in my opinion, and you guys can agree to disagree with this one, is that welfare should never be in perpetuity. It should never be forever. I think they need a solid welfare program where you don't stay on welfare no more than a year. Like rebuild, reconstitute, revamp, have people to do workshops, get certifications, get skills, but no one should be on welfare for more than a year. And you guys know we knew people on welfare for 10, 15, almost 20 years been on welfare. Okay, the American Academy, that's about higher education. Okay, auto workers, pledge to homeschool families. President Trump's 10 principles for great schools. America must have the one lowest cost energy and electricity on earth. I'm with that. I hope he comes through with that promise. Now, and again, as I stated, I'm not going to be reading a lot here, but I just want you guys to hear a little bit of what he has to say about this one as well, okay? I believe a lot of the things, because what he did was, instead of this runch-up bite of things, because, of course, he's probably a better talker on some occasions than he is a writer. Let's see what he says on this one.
If America is going to dominate the world in manufacturing once again, as it did when I was running things, you remember when they used to say you can't have manufacturing jobs in our country anymore? I said, really, why? And we created hundreds of thousands of them. But we must be the most affordable energy and electricity place anywhere on the planet. We have to have affordable energy. Right now we have energy that's weak, substandard, and unaffordable. It's made by the wind. The windmills rust, they rot, they kill.
This guy's a fool. Donald Trump is a fool. But anyway, as you stay here, family, he said, I will set a national goal of ensuring that America has the #1 lowest cost of energy of all industrial country anywhere on earth. So as Americans, you see how gas been lately? I don't know about you guys, but gas in Texas, is under $2.50. Okay? So I know a lot of you guys may be on the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest. Gas should be a little bit more expensive than that. But nonetheless, gas in Texas is less than $2.50 a gallon. It's remarkable. And to be truthful, even before the election, gas in Texas was declining. So I don't know if that are signs that the economy is getting better or the change and shift of power. I necessarily don't know. But there are some things I think we should consider when we look at Agenda 47. And the reason why that's a repeat is because I was getting so tired of people who knew they were voting for Kamala Harris. I don't even want to say Democrats because it's not every single Democrat. And guys, I'm very apolitical. Okay, I'm not an independent left or right. I'm none of those. But I got very exhausted of hearing the Democrats say, oh, they're going to implement, they're going to imply, they're going to enact Project 2025. And I was just like, he's never got behind Project 2025. He's never, ever said it. He's always been talking about Agenda 47. And I did a broadcast on that. And I even told people as I viewed Agenda 47 and compared it against Project 2025, it has some elements, not strong, but it has some residue of Project 2025. But it definitely wasn't the same document. But nonetheless, that is what Democrats and those who were going to vote for Kamala was fear-mongering people. And then you see people crashing out on the internet. And I was going to kind of give you guys some video clips of people just going absolutely bonkers. But I want to jump right into this, family, because, again, regardless if you like it or not, right, I'm indifferent about it. Regardless if you like it or not, Donald Trump will be the president of these United States of America for the next 4 years. So when we talk about economic plans, Trump has promised to rejuvenate the American economy with tax cuts, deregulation, and an American first trade policy. That's the only thing he's been talking about. I'm going to increase tariffs on China so America benefits. I'm going to put pressure on American corporations to bring their business back to America. And then from that point on, I'm going to cut their taxes so they keep jobs in America. I keep hearing a lot of people say that they believe that America is back with Donald Trump. People were stating that we were going to lose America, the very fabric, the very foundation of America, if Kamala Harris would have got elected. I don't know, family. There are some things that you can predict and absolutely be right. This one I just don't know. Because implementing these policies will require cooperation from both houses of Congress, which, in a sense, it may not be forthcoming, especially if either chamber is controlled by the opposition. Past dealings have shown that even with a majority, internal party disagreement can still stall legislation. For example, right, despite having a Republican majority in the past, Trump really struggled to repeal Obamacare entirely. The Affordable Health Care Act is still operating, so don't think that he can come and revert every single thing. There are some things, the way that a lot of these laws and legislations are passed, they make them irrevocable. Like, they can't take away the entire infrastructure of a bill sometimes. And when we kind of look at these things, yeah, fam, I've been off camera for a while. I thought I'd throw the camera on, but when we speak about immigration and border security, we have to understand that Trump, he has vowed on many occasions to resume building the border wall and toughen immigration policies. While funding and supporting for the wall could be blocked or slowed by Congress, which is something we really need to keep an eye on, again, there are executive actions on immigration policy enforcement that may see quicker implementation if he was to do so. Because we understand the power of the presidency comes with the power of executive orders. Because they use some of these same tactics when they had the travel bans on and then the border enforcement measures. We understand this. So again, you guys can really go through all of these videos. I mean, just him talking about each and every agenda that he's created to implement it into America. Protecting students from the radical left and the Marxist maniacs infecting educational institutions. See, and then if you go into a lot of these, family, it's some of the things that I hate to say it, well, I may love to say it. You and I will want. When you get inside this particular video clip here, you don't want some of the things that are in schools that are being allowed in certain states like California when it comes to a certain community influencing children before it's time for them to be influenced on that particular, ideology. Lord. And we understand that Trump, he has vowed to building the border wall and toughening immigration policies. But we do have to keep in mind that the support for the border wall, family, could be blocked or slowed by Congress depending on who wins. We understand the Republicans have the Senate. We'll soon see if they can gain control of Congress. But again, we can do executive actions on immigration policy. And then this is the one thing that I can understand a lot of foundational Black Americans being very conscious somewhat weary, but very conscious of it, is his promise to restore law and order. Remember that he stated that he was going to restore law and order. And what we understand that the B is him enhancing federal environment in cities struggling with crime. Okay, he's kind of thrown that around where he may use the National Guard, excuse me, not the National Guard, but he may use federal troops on civil matters, which is anti-constitutional. That's why you got the National Guard. So we also have to look at local governments and civil rights advocates raising constitutional questions about federal overreach. These are things we just have to watch for. I'm not telling people to get all in the uproar, you know, how the Democrats or the liberals or whoever, single women with cats and dogs, and some people part of the LGBT community, for the most part. I'm not saying all of them, for the most part. Just going wild on the internet for the past couple of days, crying and yelling and angry and mad. And if I see black men being brutalized by the police, don't believe no black woman gonna help you guys out. This is the most crazy, ironic things. I just don't get it. We were getting brutalized. We were getting set up. We were getting killed. We were getting harmed by the police under Obama, under Biden. So what are they talking about? They act like these things are not already happening. Wake up, we're still in America. See, the one thing, well, I'm gonna say the one thing, because there's a lot of things that Kamala Harris really messed up on. The one thing she messed up on was having Barack Obama and Michelle Obama to disrespect black men and black people. Because a lot of times when you're disrespecting people's husbands, people's brothers, people's sons, there's some black women that are going to take offense to that. Because they'll be like, why are they talking down to y'all like that? Like, y'all don't have a choice. Should you vote for Kamala, Trump, or stay your black ass at home? They act as though you don't have a choice. And then I also heard other people stating that if you didn't vote, then you are against black women. And again, there's other people part of, like I said before, I saw a lot of single women from all races, creeds, backgrounds, people part of the LGBT community. I rarely saw any black men, not saying that they don't exist, but people just going absolutely bonkers on the internet, because Donald Trump won, like it wasn't a possibility. Okay, he's here, we have to deal with it. And then other things that he also promised to family was stopping the war between Ukraine and Russia, because he's really indicated a desire to end American involvement in Ukraine and negotiating directly with Russia. And hopefully he can end the war, because again, we've been supplying Ukraine with billions of dollars. I want to throw an arbitrary number out there. Okay, someone can fact check me. I really didn't look it up, but I was really trying to figure out how much money did the U.S. has given to Ukraine, and I'm around $350 billion. Family, we're talking about almost $500 billion of American money. I'm at $350 billion. I know if I looked it up very quickly, probably said like 190 billion, almost $250,000. I'm rounding way up. And a lot of people think that Trump is going to really side with Russia, but they would never get in. We would never, I wouldn't think, but we'll never get involved in the war, I believe, if Trump is in office. Then we also have to look at the other conflict between Israel and Hamas/Palestine. Or as some people may say, Palestine. And do not forget, family, Trump is a large supporter of Israel as well. So we have to look at that as well. Because don't forget, his administration might likely continue the support that they've been giving to Israel, potentially at the expense of the engagement with the Palestinian authorities. Because when you looked at his administration previously, under his administration, like the Abraham Accords, the shifted regional dynamics, but a sustainable peace in Gaza requires more than these so-called bilateral agreements. So I know when we speak about these conflicts, it's just not like wham, bam, thank you, man. These are very comprehensive peace planning that involves all different types of stakeholders. It's kind of like a contract. And I think that Donald Trump attacks American law like contractual business law. If you notice, everything is about a deal. If you hear the way he speaks as like an old school businessman. Hey, let's make a deal. Let's come to the table. Let's speak about these things. That's why he was stating there would never be war, because he would try to broker out a deal that's going to put money in everybody's pocket. It's about money, family. Now, I heard someone say that, oh, well, when it comes to Palestine, let me stop sharing this very quick. Give me a second. When it comes to Palestine, I'm chilling. When it comes to Palestine, they said that it's not about money, that it's about land. And I said, well, in order to have land, you're going to build on it, you're going to make money. It's all about money. Think about it. So when they talk about the difference between Palestine and Israel, Ukraine, and Russia, Russia is trying to take over Ukraine. And from the looks of it, allegedly, Israel looks like they're trying to take over parts of Palestine in the Gaza. But again, I know that's a very volatile conversation. And family, I'm not willing to have it, because I know people don't do their research on it. So I'm gonna let it fly. But when we're speaking about a lot of the things that Trump said that he was going to do, I really want you guys to look up Agenda 47 if you're interested, just to see. Because don't forget, if the Democrats win Congress, then it's going to be difficult for him to do a lot of things that he was going to do unless he does it by an executive order. Because he's going to face opposition from Congress, especially on contentious issues like healthcare, environmental deregulation, so you can drill, baby, drill. Some of those very extensive tax reforms for the wealthy, for large corporations. Because in some ways, it's going to have to lead to a lot of compromise. But again, a lot of people think he's going to do a great job because he's trying to leave a legacy. I don't know. But these are some of the things that we have to stay watchful and monitor to see that the American people, okay, not all, maybe not you, maybe not me, because you already know where I stand, family. I definitely didn't vote for Trump. And I definitely didn't vote for Kamala. A lot of people about to turn off their video. Oh, he didn't vote. It was a vote for Trump. Nah, it's a vote for black empowerment. That's what I voted for. Just because a lot of black folk family don't believe in black empowerment, that doesn't mean that I don't have to. And we showed our power this election. We showed our power this election because we wasn't going to be disrespected. We wasn't going to be neglected. You wasn't going to put us on the Democratic plantation. Because I've been telling for the past 2 years that before the Civil Rights Act was signed in 63, 64 with LBJ, black Americans were mostly Republicans. Even Dr. King, Malcolm X were Republicans. Because you guys remember what Malcolm X was saying, that one of the most dangerous things in America is the white liberal. You guys don't forget what Malcolm X said. Everybody loved Malcolm X until you started bringing up what Malcolm X said. Doesn't everybody like Malcolm X by any means necessary? But when you start really calling a lot of things he said, like the most dangerous thing in America is the white liberal, people started turning off their TV when Malcolm X started speaking. That light is bright in my face. Because a lot of these things that he actually stated that he was going to do, okay? Let's see, using empowerment to cut waste, stop inflation, and cut the deep state. Addressing rise of chronic childhood illnesses. And don't forget who he got part of his cabinet. He's going to have Robert F. Kennedy that's going to be trying to write legislation to take out like all of these different drugs that the European nation, that even third world nations will not allow American companies or any foreign countries to put certain substance in our food. Family, you now if you're part of Generation X or if you're a millennial, you should understand what I'm getting at. Remember when we used to grow up and girls really didn't have big butts like that? Like it was a couple of them, but it really wasn't it. But as you start getting to high school, off to college, women started to become bigger and fatter, and a lot of them, depending on their shape, started to get really bigger butts. Did y'all notice that sort of pendulum swing? What happened during Generation X when we were kind of like in high school, about to go off to college? When and then we would be in college at age, 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. And we'll see a 12, 14-year-old, we're like 20, and she damn near look grown. Oh, it's hormones, it's this. But what is the substance? What is the poison that they're putting in American food for them to grow that way at that early age, looking like a grown woman? And that's no pass or excuse for pedophiles. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just telling you that is what I endured. That's what I saw. And then another thing, family, he's going to put Robert F. Kennedy in charge of that. Now, Robert F. Kennedy, he did many podcasts about all the different chemicals in our food. And again, my wife and I, unfortunately, we have to go to Whole Foods and get things organic. And it costs 10 times more. But if it's going to help me to live a better life, then I'll do that. I would rather spend more money on my health than more money on clothes. That's just me. I'm okay with a Honda or Accord and I'm living a great life, healthy and free, versus a Bentley and I got cancer. That's all I'm saying. Ending the scourge of drug addiction in America. Celebration of 250 years of American independence. Day 1 executive order ending citizenship for children of illegals and outlawing birth tourism. Wow. So family, this is one of the agendas that a lot of American citizens were worried about because it has to do with violating the Constitution. It has to do with violating the Constitution because he's stating that if you came out here on a birth tourism, and of course the Constitution doesn't bring this particular situation up. If you came over here on tour and your baby was born, you would be an American, or you would not be an American citizen. But Trump is like, hey, I don't care. If you're here just as a tourist, you're not going to come over here like a lot of people have while they were pregnant and got in labor and had their child here right in America, and then now their children are citizens. And that's why Obama made the DACA program, so families won't be split up. But a lot of these things were done very strategic. How many people you think just all of a sudden, let me get on a plane, let me go across the border, and I'm 9 months pregnant? Majority of women I know, when they're pregnant at 9 months, they're not going anywhere. Unless they absolutely have to, okay? But that's just the people I know. Let's see what else he got on these pages, because there's really a lot to cover here. But I really wanted to show you some of the things that he had here, because it's a whole hell of a lot, family. Ending the nightmare of the homeless, drug addicts, and dangerous deranged. You know, he wrote this title himself. But yeah, family, there's a lot of us, unfortunately, who are homeless. But we're giving money to illegal immigration. We're giving money to Ukraine. We're giving money to Israel. Don't matter the reason. We still have a foreign budget that we give a lot of benefits and support to. Liberating America from Biden's regulatory onslaught, meaning that he's going to deregulate a lot of things. Find the radical Marxist prosecutor destroying America. He's talking about Kamala Harris. So at one of his rallies, right, I saw, this was just a video clip. I wouldn't dare watch a rally. But nonetheless, because I'd be laughing the whole time, and people are like, this is serious. This is serious, Black Logic. This is serious. I'm like, whatever. He got on there and he said, Kamala. He did it like that. He was like, Kamala, you're fired. Like, this is the American president. Oh my God. And then a lot of people wanted Kamala to win, family. A lot of people wanted Kamala to win because the image would be better, right? She's a little more polished. And Donald Trump is Donald Trump. There's no one like him. There's no one like him, family. And here's the thing. I don't care if you love him or hate him. I guarantee you laughed at him before. I guarantee, because it got to a point where you would just get angry when he says, see, he's so stupid. He's so illiterate. See, he's this, he's a sexist, he's this. But it's something he said or something he did, and you just like, okay, this is stupid. That's what we're dealing with. And it's okay. He was president before, you're still here. If anything, if you made more money under Trump, I hope that continues. But America is not over. You know what? And all those damn people who said they were going to move, please make a video of you packing your stuff and leaving the country. This is why you shouldn't say irrational things. This is why you shouldn't say stupid ass things. This is why you should not operate in your emotions because some white man won the presidency. Let me tell you something. News break. Majority of American presidents have been white men. But no, but he's this and he's that and he's this and he's that. All of them had demons. But people are falling out, crashing out, and crying out. How about we get educated on these agendas and see how it may benefit us? Because that is what we do sometimes, family. Unfortunately, foundational Black Americans, unfortunately, some of us, not those who are really thinking about and analyzing this, we are sore losers. Okay, so you voted for Kamala, girl, and she didn't win. So now democracy in America is over as we know it. No, it isn't, because I lived under Trump before, and it wasn't a big thing. If anything, I probably got a better paying job. But nonetheless, I'm going to dive into these agendas and see how it can benefit me and my family. No one's doing that. I want those people who was making all these heightened sort of scare, fear-mongering tactic videos. If Trump wins, I'm going to move outside the country. Please make a TikTok. Please make an Instagram. Please make a YouTube short clip of you packing your stuff and you flying over into the country of your choice. Let me see it. Let me see it. Because there must be a lot of millionaires I didn't know about. Because a lot of people saying they were going to leave the country. Goodbye. Goodbye. See, we no fleers, family, and we are no fleers. We just deal with whatever we have at the time. You had Jimmy Carter, you had both George Bushes. We survived through those as well, even through all the wars and the conflicts and the battles. We've survived it all. We survived World War I, World War II, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Vietnam, the Cold War. Our people have survived it all. We shouldn't be crashing out and knocking all crazy because majority of Black Americans seem as though they voted for Kamala Harris. But as people stated, only 20% had a vote for Donald Trump, and he will win. Guess what? 20% of Black America voted for Donald Trump. And this is good. Why this is good? Because the Democrats have been benign, neglect us, ignoring us, letting us come along on the ride until we reach the destination, and then they kick us out. They invite us to the cookout and the picnic, and they never have food for us. They tell all the wonderful things about how this is going to help Black America and how they're supporting us, but we never, ever receive tangible results. And this is a good thing. You may not like what I'm saying, and that's okay, but this is a good thing because now we have shown them our power. We have shown them our power. We can vote you in and we can vote you out. And we can vote you out in many ways. The same way Donald Trump won in 2016, he won in 2024. How? How did he do that? Well, there was a lot of Black people who stated, you know what, I don't like neither one. I'm not voting. There were some Black people who said, I don't know enough about either one. I'm not voting. Then you had the other percent said, I don't want this in my young daughter's, my young son's bathroom. I don't want certain people competing against my college aide or professionally. I don't want men in women's sports on a chromosome level, on a DNA and RNA level. I don't want X and Y chromosomes competing against X and X chromosomes. I'll just say that. You guys should know what I'm talking about. I don't care if they put on a dress or not. I don't want that in my school. But that what was being allowed under the Democrats. And this is why I say we really shouldn't affiliate yourself with no political party, family. You should really just be looking at the policies. Because again, you being a Democrat means what? A lot of people can't tell you why they associate themselves with being a Republican or associate themselves with being a Democrat. But when you start getting to the policies, they start talking about the people. Oh, the reason why Kamala Harris shouldn't be president because she's not even a Black woman. Okay, and I really haven't heard the argument that the internet and a lot of these people stating that men are sexist, so they just won't vote for a woman. I haven't heard anyone say that yet. Any of my friends, family, any people I'm in touch with, I have yet to hear any of them say, oh man, the reason why I didn't vote for Kamala, man, because I don't want no woman in office. I've never heard that. Maybe they kept it to themselves, but evidently the women and some of the men out there who are making all these videos, they know about it, but I haven't been told anything. President Trump planned to dismantle the deep state and return power to the American people. Ending Biden's war on the suburb that pushed American dream further from reach. And if you notice that, housing became tremendously more expensive under Biden. Now, granted, some of that could be the residual effects of COVID. I'm not oblivious to that, because don't forget, the economy was doing well under Donald Trump. COVID hit, the economy tanked, and we have been still trying to climb out of this thing. So we really don't know if Biden has made it worse, Biden has made it better, or is on the same trajectory that it was before. So we essentially don't know. But I do know this, after 2 years, because it's going to take some time, family, or it may be instant, but I give him 2 years. If we don't see a difference in the economy in 2 years, then whatever he planned to do or whatever he implemented or didn't, it didn't work. That's why, again, we have to look at this from a personal perspective to see how it's going to benefit us, or how it disadvantaged us, if any. Okay, Joe Biden has been a disaster for the economy. He said the importance of not, look at this, family. Let me see if I can, give me a second. Let me pause and I'm gonna read some of your comments. Give me a second here. I want you guys to hear this. Here we go.
Joe Biden has been a disaster for the economy. Between his massive tax hikes, his anti-energy crusade, and his trillions of dollars in wasteful spending, Biden caused the highest inflation in almost half a century. As a result, interest rates soared to crushing levels, and now we are seeing bank failures that nobody believed even possible just 2 years ago. Joe Biden is leading us toward a Great Depression. I've been saying it for a long time. There should be no bailouts, but we need to get this economy straightened out as fast as possible. We're headed down a very dangerous path. When I'm back in the White House, I will immediately unleash energy production, slash regulations like I did just 3 years ago, and repeal Biden's tax hikes to get inflation down as fast as possible, and it will go quickly, so that interest rates can get back under control. I built the greatest economy in the history of the world. In fact, I did it twice when you think about it, and now we will have to do it again. Thank you very much.
I mean, Donald Trump is something else, family. Donald Trump, nobody ever has to pat Donald Trump's back. He's going to pat his back the entire speech. He like, I've done the best any other president have ever done, ever in the history of America, ever on earth. He just make it bigger than what it is. He's like, we had the most prosperous economy. We was making a lot of money, and I did it better than anybody ever did in the history of any country, in any world, in any universe. That's Donald Trump. He just says a bunch of stuff. But the point I was making, family, is that he's going to try to really fix the economy in a year, but I'm going to give him 2 years. I would give Kamala 2 years. And again, as I told you, that's why it doesn't matter. I would give Kamala 2 years. And I think he's going to abuse his executive power. Why do I say that? Because if Congress plays games with Donald Trump like, oh, this is my last 4 years, I'm going out with a bang. Hey, give me all those executive orders. Yeah, I had backups. For every legislation that they try to block, I'm going to sign the executive order, and they're like, well, Mr. President, they can block it. Then I'll veto it. I'll veto it and still get passed, so don't play with me. I think Donald Trump is that emboldened, that bold, that courageous, that scary, that dangerous to do it. He's all of those things, in my opinion. This is the one guy that may do it. He like, I'm not playing games with America. We're going to get America back to America. Whatever that is. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Lord, I don't know, family. I can't know it all. Can you know it all? I can't know it all. President Trump's 10 principles for great schools leading to great jobs. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, here's the thing about school, family, if you guys can agree to disagree. A lot of these grade schools are not, I repeat, are not preparing our children for the workforce. They're not preparing it for a STEM economy, science, technology, okay, economics, and math. They're not doing this. They're not preparing our children. They're not teaching them. And a lot of people are like, well, you can teach your own kids this. You're right. But why go to school and them not teach you, empower you with skills that you're going to actually use in the real world? What about etiquette class? Oh, they should be learning that at home. Okay. But what about those engineering courses and classes? Because a lot of our jobs are going to be tech heavy. People creating all sorts of code, technological apparatuses and machines and devices, all of these things. But they're not preparing our children for that. So hopefully legislation that he's talking about imposing, enacting, that it really, really helps. And here's another one. He's doubling down. America must have the #1 lowest cost energy, electricity on earth. Returning production of essential medicines back to America and ending Biden's pharmaceutical shortages. President Trump calls for death penalty for human traffickers. Family, here's one of those dangerous bills. The reason why I say that, I want you guys to think of Puff Daddy right now, regardless of how you feel about the situation. I'm not getting into all of that. But if I can recall, one of the federal charges was human trafficking under this RICO under the RICO Act. Now, if he implements this, I just have a couple of questions. Anybody who's currently incarcerated, would that occur, that's incarcerated for human trafficking, would that apply to them? Or would they be grandfathered in not being part of this legislation? Or would it just take effect the day that he signs it? And it can't be backdated to affect any criminals who's been convicted of human trafficking. I'm just stating. And the reason why that's important, because a lot of our hip hop artists and things of that nature, if they flew an Instagram model out, and family, I don't want to sway your opinion about them doing that or not, but if it's consensual, whether it's consensual and contractual, you know what I mean? They find these Instagram models out. But if it's consensual, regardless if it's transactional, I don't think they should be going to jail, and definitely not the death penalty for that. Okay, as my uncle used to say, men pay for it in different ways. That's what he used to say. Men pay for it in different ways. Sometimes it's straight up money. Sometimes it's straight up honey. Sometimes it's straight up going on dates and you spending the bag. But majority of men pay for it. Don't matter. Rescuing American jobs, auto industry from the disastrous job killing policies. Okay, bringing manufacturing back to America, especially with the auto industry. Rebuilding America's depleted military. I wonder what this one's about. Me being a veteran myself. Can we listen to this one? Let's see. I want to know what he's saying on this one right here. Let's hear it very quickly.
In a period of less than 1 week, Joe Biden accidentally admitted that we're sending cluster bombs to Ukraine because the United States is running out of ammunition. I don't know how that works, but that's what he said. Then he called up reserve forces to ship them to Europe, proving that we are running out of troops, and that's also a fact. We have very few people signing up to join our military. These actions reveal just what an insanely dangerous situation Biden and the demented warmongers have led us into. Less than 3 years ago, I'd fully rebuilt the United States military and steered America into such a strong global position that peace was breaking out all over the world. We had peace through strength. 29 months later, the arsenals are empty, the stockpiles are bare, the treasury is drained, the ranks are being hollowed out.
Okay, there's no way I can finish the family. I was laughing more. So it's the way why he's reading, pronouncing words. Yeah, but yeah. Again, of course, again, he patted himself on the back. So let me get to some of your comments here. Let's see here. Volvo stated that the economy is already bad, so he won't be able to change the path now anyways, okay? Iron Will said he was wearing that damn orange vest. Oh, man, he's entertaining. He is. I mean, for what it's worth. That's just my take on it, okay? They're not mad that he won. They are mad because the matriarch has been set back many, many steps. You know what, Robert T? I keep, and I know about the patriarchy whole, argument. And I understand what you're saying, but I believe more so, and I had to dive more into it, that there was just a lot of what people considered very, very liberal agendas, especially for black folk. And black folk are somewhat traditional, right? We used to jump over the broom to become married. So, we used to have all of these we have a rich culture, right? We have a very, very rich culture. So we have a lot of, believe it or not, family traditions. Now, it may not look like that today, but believe me, a lot of us still try to adhere to a lot of our family traditions. And so a lot of these liberal things and people being a certain manner, listen, I'm all for people being free, doing what you want to do with your body, your hair, all that. Do whatever you want. But I really want you guys to think, especially if you're a Generation X, millennial, and maybe to a certain degree Generation Y. a lot of your parents, even yourselves, you have a lot of traditional things in your mind. Now, come with current state of America today, there may not be a lot of guys who are really believing, oh, my wife is going to stay at home, cook and clean, and I'm going to go out and make all the money. Because of inflation, because things cost more nowadays, because people want to travel and do other things. So both people are working unless she gets pregnant. But again, that's kind of a hybrid of modern day society with some traditionalism, cultural things, right? Where the man, because a lot of women say, well, he needs to make as much money as me or more money than me. That's very traditional. The woman wanting the man to make more money than her because she wants to look up to him. She wants him to be the head, right? Not that you're stronger, but you're taking more, you're taking a larger share of the toll in the weight of the home versus me, where I'm going to be cooking, cleaning, and working. So I would want him to make just as much money or more money so he pays more bills, right? That sort of hybrid mixture of modern society mixed with a lot of traditionalisms, okay? Robert T stated that. Oh, I already read that. But anyway, family, that's all I really had with you guys this evening. But we should definitely be aware of all the promises and policies that soon-to-be President Trump made promises, and we're going to see if he's going to do it. And of course, I'm going to definitely report on it. And family, I didn't want to bring all the shenanigans inside the room, inside the broadcast today, with all these people crying and shouting, and I can't believe he won. I'm so mad. I'm so mad that Donald Trump won. Oh, God. We had people bussy popping in a bed crying about with a, what you call those things that women put on their head? Bonnets. It had a grown man in the bed complaining that Donald Trump won with a bonnet on his head. Family. Yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. Be one.